watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Richmond. I'm Carl Henderson with Ghostfire Media, and I'm here to bring you the AOLL TNT series. And we're getting started right here with qualifying, right as we start the broadcast here. Very quickly, going to bring up our race info. We can see here, this is a relatively small track. It's considered one of the short tracks of NASCAR. It's 0.72 miles. It's a little bit bigger than Bristol or Martinsville, but and decent amount of banking here, so they'll be able to hit some speeds here. But something I've been told we need to keep an eye out for would be the way the car handles. So it's relatively tight on entry and apparently loose on exit, which isn't terribly surprising. That's going to be relatively common in these stock cars. We're focusing here on Josh Laston on his first lap, qualifying lap here, as Josh Laston's going to come around here and set a time on the board, and that currently moves him in the first, just ahead of John Gordon. Let's take a look here at Greg Wellen. Greg here, I think this may be his TNT debut. I'm not sure about that, but of course we switched to him, given the broadcaster's curse, and we'll see if he'll be able to get another lap in. How about Mr. Joe Dinsmore here, about to wrap up his first lap of qualifying and crosses the start-finish line. We'll see where he comes out there. And Joe Dinsmore sitting at the top of the board. For some reason, our timing and scoring is not updating up there. Let's see what we can figure out here. It doesn't look like the tower's working either. So that, oh, there it goes. Okay, so tower's working. We'll just hide our ticker. That way we can keep track of where people are. Brandon Bernhardt finishes his first lap and is sitting in third, but not for long, as Greg Wellen's able to get another lap in. And Greg Wellen now sitting in the third spot. Someone I'm surprised with here, Johnny Edward, has completed both of his qualifying laps, and he's sitting 10th right now in last place. Little unusual for him. Blake Gordon... Okay. Car is somehow moving without the wheels turning. All right. So Blake Gordon just sitting there. All right. Well, it looks like I think just about everybody has qualified who is going to qualify. As we get, it looks like Johnny Edwards doing something I love to do, and that's just kind of go out and run practice laps after qualifying is completed. Because, hey, it's free practice. Why not? We do have one more guy out here on the track. Derek Schilling is about to start his first lap. We'll watch it here and see where he is going to come out, and then we'll we'll be able to go over and take a look at the point standings. That's something I want to take a look at before we get started racing here, because we've got a heck of a battle for the points right now, and you'll see what I mean in just a second, as Derek Schilling is getting ready to complete his first lap here, and that is going to be good for 11th right now, and we'll see what he can do on his second lap. And, you know, this track, you know, another thing, I think I mentioned it earlier, but I was hearing that the rev limiter is something they're hitting, you know, as they're entering the corners. I think possibly entering one, they're hitting the rev limiter as Derek Schilling finishes his second lap, and that moves him up to 10th. But they're hitting the rev limiter, and it isn't much of an issue later on in the run, but something to keep an eye on tonight. But as I mentioned, I want to take a look here and show you guys our point standings. At our starting grid. In first, we have Joe Dinsmore, followed in second by Josh Hanner. In third, we have Greg Wellen, and in fourth, Brandon Bernhardt. Fifth, we have Josh Laston, and in sixth, John Gordon. Seventh, we have Sean Carmody, and in eighth, Kevin Haas. Ninth, we have Ed Springer, and in 10th, we have Derek Schilling. 11th, we have Johnny Edward, and in 12th, Blake Gordon. 13th, we have Timothy St. Jean, and in 14th, Mike Burgess. And then rounding out the field in 15th, we have Mr. Dave Wright. So I'm really excited about this race. We're really ready to get going here. I think we got the potential to have a really good one, as cars are lining up on the grid. They're gridding up here. And going to take a look at our chat over here, see what we got going on. Justin Anderson, good to see you out there. Good to see you're texting. As usual, if you guys have anyone in particular you want me to cover, put some attention on, let me know. Gladly spend some time looking at them for you. But yeah, I think what's gonna be interesting as they start rolling here. I think it's gonna be watching to see which lane is gonna work out and where passing opportunities are gonna be, because I especially think on the start of the race here, I think it's gonna be crucial to get a good start, since we do go single file after the initial start. Cut over here, and I think being the halfway point in the season, this is crucial that some guys have some good finishes. I don't think this is the race that will win you a championship or anything like that, but I definitely think you could lose a championship. You have a bad finish here, so we'll have to see what kind of risk guys are willing to take, and I think you could potentially see some strategy calls go into play here. Depending on how tire wear ends up being tonight, we'll have to see. I think short tracks you tend to have some opportunities to take some risks here and there. And the field is coming around turn 2 here, getting on the back stretch, and they'll be going green as soon as the pace car pulls in. It is my understanding that this race is set up to use the new restart zone functionality, I believe. And if that's the case, then, whereas in previous races it's been the leader determining, they'll still do that, but they have a limited zone to do it in. So here we are getting going, waiting for that green flag to come out, and it's out. Joe Dinsmore gets a huge jump. Sorry about not having that focus there. I clicked the wrong button. But Joe Dinsmore immediately gets out to a pretty decent lead as we see them piling up behind him. Josh Hanner trying to chase down Joe Dinsmore right now. We get Greg Welland right there as well. You know, Greg hasn't, as far as I know, has not run in these cars yet. And, you know, it's probably going to take a little while to get accustomed to him, but I know he ran a lot of laps in practice. So I think he's going to be a contender here tonight, as he usually is. But right now, it's all Joe Dinsmore. Looking really strong right now. You see here, this is from the back bumper of Dinsmore's car, looking back at Josh Hanner. And, you know, you have to ask, you know, is Dinsmore going to have this speed the entire run? Or, you know, because typically, Joe's not typically a short run kind of guy. So I was a little surprised to see him, you know, get out front that quickly. Joe Dinsmore's typically the guy you got to worry about on long runs. So, you know, have to wonder, you know, is he still holding back a little bit, sandbagging a little bit, so that he'll be able to hold off, you know, a potential charge from Josh Hanner or Greg Welland, or even Brandon Bernhardt. But let's actually go back here a little bit. I want to take a look at this battle right here, because these guys have been right next to each other. We'll cut up one here and focus on Brandon Bernhardt, but yeah, these guys are all over each other right now, staying real tight. Definitely looking like a single groove track right now as they're all trying to get to the bottom. You really haven't seen many guys we see. I mean, I say that, you know, kind of a variety of lines there as Josh Laston, you know, was probably about a half lane up. Might just be trying to find something. Could also be searching for clean air there. Oh, and we've got someone that has crashed, but I think no caution yet. We see that 15 there on the track map. He's just sitting there. And actually, that's not the 15 car. That it switched over to. Oh, and the yellow flag is out. Kevin Haas also has issues. We'll go back and take a look at that in just a second. I'm going to fix our track map here. It keeps wanting to switch over to show positions instead of car numbers. So let's take a look, see what happened to DW first up. So we got him in that green 43 car right there. We'll go ahead and play it here. Oh, looks like, oh, just came in hot. Came in hot. And then, you know, probably just oversteered it trying to get the turn down. That's a tough position he's in right there, because he definitely didn't want to just back right into the track, but couldn't stay there either. So, oh, yep, I feel you there, man. I've been there. But by that point, the caution had already come out because, I believe, because Kevin Haas. But let's take a look. That might have come after. So we get Kevin Haas here in the 3. Let's see what happens with him here. This is riding, looking okay. Oh, yep, just lost it on exit, but does a good job locking him up. Oh, man, that was beautiful right there. No contact with the wall. Good to go. All right, so we did have some guys enter pit road there, led by Josh Hanner. Let's actually cut over and watch him, see who's going to win this battle. It should be Hanner, I believe. Yeah, Sean Carmody comes out second. Laston right there with him as well. So, yeah, the guys who pitted there, we've got Josh Hanner, Sean Carmody, Josh Laston, Blake Gordon, Johnny Edward, Ed Springer, Mike Burgess, Kevin Haas, of course, pitted. And DW has not pitted yet, I don't believe. But then guys staying out. Basically our top 6 right now. Joe Dinsmore, Greg Welland, Brandon Bernhardt, John Gordon, Tim St. Jean, and Derek Schilling all stayed out. And honestly, that's not a shocker from Derek Schilling there. We've seen there's something with him in this car that he's just you know he does pretty well with tire conservation in this car. We saw it at Daytona. We saw it you know I think at Bristol. But yeah, I mean this is not surprising for him at all. But you know looking at lap times, unfortunately, I don't have. Yeah, of course, it already cleared out the previous lap times. They had some tire fall, but actually, Derek Schilling actually has come in. This is something we've seen before. It's not a huge surprise because you don't want to be that last car who didn't take tires because you're a sitting duck. All those guys are going to get around you. So probably the right call. So that's going to leave Mr. Tim St. Jean in the sitting duck position. Depending on how bad tire fall off was, I wish I had a record of what the lap times were prior to the caution there before they pitted. But we'll see in a little bit. We'll see if these leaders, because clean air does make a difference. And we have to keep in mind, this is a single file restart. So you're not going to have the opportunity to get beside someone and potentially just gain some positions that way. You're going to have to actually pass people on the track, on a track that so far has not looked like it's been very easy to pass at. So they're getting lined up here. As mentioned, it is a single file restart. We've got the 43 car there on the inside of Dave Wright. He is a lap down. He'll have an opportunity to fight to get his lap back. Does not appear to have pitted, though, which is a little surprising. I think I would have, there's no harm in pitting. I think I would have went ahead and came in as the pace car pulls in here. We're about to go green flag racing. And Dinsmore's off. Dinsmore gets a pretty good jump, but not the kind of jump that he had earlier. But this is where that lap down car is going to help the leader quite a bit because Greg Wellen had to run a higher line to try to get around the lap car of Dave Wright. And actually, what happened to Joe Dinsmore there? He pulls down. Joe Dinsmore pulls down to the apron and is going into pit road. I am not quite sure what happened there. I didn't see any issue with him. But Joe Dinsmore pulling into the pits. Greg Wellen is our new leader. That is a huge surprise. I'm not sure if Joe possibly got some damage somewhere, or if he has some real life equipment problems, or what, as we see him coming off pit road here. Oh, he didn't actually stop. I'm wondering if he got black flagged for some sort of restart violation. One of the things they have with the restart zone set up now is I believe you have to maintain pace speed or you'll get black flagged. And I'm wondering if that may have been the case. Joe Dinsmore may have picked up a black flag there. That is a really tough break for him. Obviously we're all learning this new system. Yeah, I see. Yeah, Johnny Downey just posted a restart penalty. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Possibly not maintaining pace speed, or possibly getting going outside the restart zone. Actually, we've got a caution out. We've got caution. Whole bunch of guys that had to look like dunk down the pit road to try to avoid it. But let's see if we can see what happens here. As I see, it looks like a lot of people started passing Hanner all of a sudden. So we got Hanner up top. Okay, yeah, I don't think there's any issue there. That's not the issue. Let's take a look. Yeah, looking all good there. Let's take a look. It says Tim St. Jean crash. Let's see if we can find out what happened here. So we got Tim St. Jean in that Slowpokes number 6 up top. He's on the outside of the 51 car of Blake Gordon. Oh, Hanner just gets into the back of him. Now, wow, that was yeah, Hanner just hit him. I'm not sure if they were obviously running the non-preferred line. Perhaps Hanner thought he could drive it in a little bit harder. Or maybe Hanner missed a braking point. Who knows? But that's a tough break for Tim St. Jean, who was just driving up there. So, all right. Well, our leader's still Greg Wellen, but he's about to be in lonely company up front without pitting. I think that. Yeah, he is out of all of the cars that are on the lead lap. He is the only one now that is not pitted. So interesting strategy from Greg Wellen here. You know, I'm not sure. If I realized I was the only one out there, I think I would have come in and pit, but maybe he thinks we're going to have another quickie caution, and he can just hang on to that lead for a little bit longer. At some point, you got to think that the guys further back who pitted the last caution are going to have to pit again. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here. I have to think that he is going to be in trouble, but this is one of those situations where the lap down car on the inside, it's going to help him quite a bit because he's going to be able to, get that jump at the start and potentially, get Johnny Edwards, who's starting behind him, get him stuck back there trying to battle to get around the lap down car. Yeah, so Justin said it looked like compared to the cars around him, Tim was more conservative getting the 3 and Hanner wasn't expecting it. Yeah, I believe that absolutely could be the case. So especially, again, being on a non-preferred line, like I do it all the time. Like sure, I practice all sorts of lines in practice, but it's a completely different thing when you're out there on the track. And the first time I run the high line or something, I might brake a little earlier than I think I need to just to be safe, but that also sometimes isn't a safe option, as we saw there. So still definitely the responsibility of Josh Hanner to make sure he doesn't hit the car in front of him. But that's just one of those things that happens sometimes. Tim St. Jean obviously paid the price. He's going to be restarting 12th. Hanner is going to be right behind him in 13th. So, I was saying that this race wasn't going to, determine if you're going to win the championship. It's not going to lock you in or anything, but it could certainly cost you a championship. And I think Hanner's a great example of that, as we'll see. But Joe Dinsmore back on the lead lap, which we're happy to see, as we're about to go green flag here. And yep, there he goes. Greg Wellen gets a huge jump. I think he went real early. And, caution's out. Caution is already out. Wow. That didn't take long. Let's see if we can see what happens here. That's not going to be good. Doesn't actually show any wrecks, but I got Brandon Bernhardt going off track. Oh, yep, maybe this is it. So we got the 51 back there. That is Brandon Bernhardt's teammate, Blake Gordon. Brandon Bernhardt in the 70 car there. Let's see if we can take a look. Oh, yeah. Just, so, yeah, let me see if I can get another view here. So they're getting ready for the restart. The 3 goes. Brandon. Okay, so the 3 goes. Brandon goes, but has to check up a little bit. And then Blake had no idea. Ran right into him. Man, I wish I was in the Endeavor team chat right now. Wow. Okay, well, it was looking like for a little bit we were going to have a decent race there. That kind of green flag run at the beginning may have spoiled us, but hopefully these guys will be able to get it cleaned up and we'll be able to get racing and knock out some green flag laps soon. But how about we take a small break here and hear about one of the upcoming events Ghost Fire Media will be covering, the Alabama 500.
For the Alabama 500, June 10th through June 12th, presented by RC2 Race Promotions on Ghost Fire Media. Visit RC2 Race Promotions on Facebook for more information on how to register.
All right, well, we are back here. Lights on the pace car are still on. We have to go around a little bit more before we get going again. And Greg Wellen still has not pitted. You know, we're 24 laps into this race. Everyone has pitted at least once. About half the field's pitted at least twice. Did anyone tell Greg Welland that we have unlimited tires now? You don't have to pay for them, man. You can go get some tires. It's good. I mean, it worked out okay for him that time. Of course, there was about 5 seconds of green flag racing before the caution came out, but we've still got another lap here under caution. Okay, and so we got an answer here from Joe Dinsmore. He took the black flag due to a jump on the first start. Black flag was cleared by mistake, so he went ahead and self-served the penalty. All right, so lights on the pace car are off now. Hopefully we'll be able to get green flag racing here and actually get some laps in. I would love to see that happen. And I see Joe's still in the race, and he messaged me, so I think he is texting and driving. Can't be doing that, Joe. Come on now. We're getting ready to go here as they're entering turn 3. And we're going to cut up my favorite view, the blimp view for restarts. Love blimp view for restarts. Get a good view of what happens. And there goes Greg Welland. But look at that, Johnny Edward hanging in there. Derek Schilling did not get a great jump. And we can see already Josh Laston putting pressure. Laston has fresher tires than these guys in front of him. Pitted last at lap 16. Guys in front of him right now, Johnny Edward last pitted at lap 7. Greg Welland has not pitted, as mentioned earlier. So Josh Laston, Sean Carmody, both there on fresh tires, and going to try to see if they can try to take over the lead of this race. These two guys are two guys we're very familiar with seeing leading the TNT division. It's been a little bit different this year due to the series being opened up to everyone, but obviously both of them very capable. So we'll see what happens here as Josh Laston's starting to put pressure on that 60 car of Johnny Edward. But, it's one thing to catch someone. It's an entirely different thing to actually pass someone. So, and honestly, I think in this situation, we're talking about a difference of, 8 laps, 9 laps on the tires. We got someone going around back there. Was that John Gordon? I think it was John Gordon had some issues. But able to hang on to it, just going to lose some spots. Heck of a save there from John Gordon. But yeah, so what I was saying, and actually Johnny Edward, I don't know if he blew the turn or if he's just, kind of letting Laston have it, and he's going to, try to live to fight another day. And that's honestly not a bad call if that is what he did, because I've been in that situation before. I have someone behind me and tags the wall. But, you have someone faster than you behind you, and you could try to hold them off, and you end up burning your stuff up. Sometimes it's better just to let them by and see if they burn their stuff up. And actually, look at this, Johnny Edward trying to cross him over here, might be able to pull it off. But Laston, look at that run Laston gets on that exit. Wow, that was a heck of a run. We got the 82 car on the backstretch off pace. Yellow flag is out. Didn't even notice that because it popped in. Let's see if we can see what happened to Mike Burgess here. So Burgess here in the 82 car. This is on the front stretch, entering 1. Looks like he got down on the apron. Yep, just got down the apron, lost it. Oh! He held those brakes there. I apologize. I don't know that he wasn't holding the brakes there, but it certainly looked like the wheels were turning. If he could have kept them held down, probably could have saved some damage there. But yeah, so basically the entire field pitting. Greg Welland finally decides he can afford some tires, so he's come in. And look at this. We've got a new leader. John Gordon, our new leader. We just saw him go around, or almost go around, and able to save it, but now leading the race, and that's how quick things can change. Tim St. Jean, oh, and actually it looks like they might be pitting now. That's it's probably the right move. Tim St. Jean pulls a fast one. He decides he wants to lead this race, and we'll see if he actually decides to come down pit lane next time by. I think he'll still have one more that he can do it. But hey, go out there, lead that race. Why not, man? Get you some screen time. And our new, out of the guys who just pitted, Johnny Edward wins the battle off pit road. Blake Gordon right behind him. Greg Welland drops 2 spots on pit road. So. I'm not sure if Greg just, let's see if we can take a look at the pit road time. Oh, okay, it looks like, okay, Johnny and Blake took 2 tires only, I'm assuming right sides. But they had 10-second stops compared to the 20-second stops of everyone else in the field. So that is one way to move up, I guess, is just take 2 tires. And the lights on the pace car are off. So up front, we have no fresh tires, 2 fresh tires, 2 fresh tires, and then we've got 4 stickers behind them. And I mean, honestly, that's possibly the best case scenario for Tim St. Jean being the only person staying out, is to have some guys with right sides only behind him instead of having guys with 4 fresh ones right behind him. So we'll see if he'll be able to hold off. And there's no lap car here to use as a pick. So it's going to have to be entirely on him. Going to cut to our blimp view again and watch this thing from afar as they are entering the restart zone. Oh, Johnny gives a little bump there, and Tim didn't go. I mean, that's his prerogative as the leader. He doesn't have to go. So Tim St. Jean times it right and gets out here to a decent lead as we see Blake Gordon there passing Johnny Edward. Greg Welland getting passed by Josh Hanner. But it is looking like, Johnny Edward looks like he's struggling on those 2 tires right now. Let's focus on Johnny Edward here. They were 3 wide there. That was, this track you can definitely, you can go 3 wide. It doesn't make me feel very easy. So, but hey, we got a new leader here as he gets around Tim St. Jean. Blake Gordon is our new leader, takes the lead for the first time tonight. I still think Tim's probably made the right call if we don't have a terribly long green flag run. But now, of course, we see he's dropping in a hurry. Those guys a little bit of contact there. Johnny Edward, Tim St. Jean. But we are still, I was going to say we're still green flag racing, but caution's out. And was it Derek Schilling maybe? I think Derek Schilling may have had some issues. Let's see if we can find out. So we got Derek Schilling right there. Where is Derek Schilling? It says he's on the screen. I'm not sure what happened here. Okay, so there's Derek Schilling. Okay, let's see if we can see what happened to Derek. Possibly happened to Derek. I just saw all of a sudden people were passing him. Oh, just got loose on entry. Oh, that shouldn't have been a caution, iRacing. Come on. All right, well, Tim St. Jean on to pit road. Johnny Edward as well. Johnny Edward, I think, decided... Oh, that's not live. Johnny Edward, I think, decided that those 2 tires were not working out for him. So, Blake Gordon sitting up front, and Josh Hanner right behind him. Those guys actually really are top... what is it here. Why don't you show me my positions? Top 10, all on, actually really even going back to top 13. All pitted last at the same lap. That's lap 33. So, you know, we've had almost every restart. There's been like, you know, a mix of strategies, people trying different things, and that's not going to be happening this time. Everyone on the same strategy here. And I am hopeful here we'll get some green flag racing. That was looking like it was going to be a lot of fun there for a little bit. But it's a difficult track. I know the guys have, you know, I've heard from multiple people that, you know, there are some parts of this track that are a little tricky, and, you know, it's short track racing. You know, some of the stuff we've seen with, you know, kind of people getting run over and that sort of thing, I mean, that happens at short tracks. So no surprise there. We'll just have to see if they can get it cleaned up. So we are on lap 42 of 125. We have not hit the halfway point yet. The lights on the pace car are off. We're going green flag here again shortly. Rounding turn 2 to enter the backstretch, and once again, no lap cars to worry about here. Relatively small field tonight, only 15 cars out there, so you know, that obviously decreases your odds of having lap down cars. There's just fewer people to go lap down, and also with the number of cautions we had, just people aren't having the opportunity to go laps down. So we'll cut to our blimp view here, try to get a good look as Blake Gordon is going to control the restart here, and he's off. Josh Hanner looked like he was going to lose a lot there, but able to maintain a respectable gap. And then right behind him, let's see how Sean Carmody. Oh yeah, Sean Carmody right there as well. But you have to think, if we have a green flag run here, they, you know, I said that they're all on the same pit strategy for the most part now, but the big difference is the fact that Blake Gordon is likely on 2 tires only, based on all the telemetry I see. So, you know, obviously Blake was able to get a big jump there, but if we can have a green flag run here, we'll see if Hanner will be able to close that gap. And right now it is about a half second, about 0.6. So we'll keep an eye on that. But while we're watching that, I want to take a look and go back here to probably our closest battle on track right now. I think guys are spacing out a little bit, trying to give it, and I say that and then caution comes out. Caution is out. Let's see if we can find out what happened here. I think it might have been Tim St. Jean. All right, Tim St. Jean there on the inside of the 43 of Dave Wright. Into the corner here. Tim just lost it. Yep, just lost it. Getting in the corner, possibly, you know, was there next to Dave Wright, possibly just entering the corner from an unfamiliar spot and went around. So this is all working in Blake Gordon's favor as he teases going on the pit road, but it looks like a lot of the rest of the field is actually going to do it. As Josh Hanner leads a sizable group down pit road. And we'll get back out to the people out front that stayed out once we're done with the pit stops here, and see who wins the battle off of pit road here. We got Joe Dinsmore in that first spot, and then Hanner right there behind. But Josh Laston, I think did right sides only, and so did those other guys, Brandon Bernhardt, Johnny Edward. I would think they did right sides only. Let's see if I can see the pit times. Yeah, so Johnny Edwards says, you know, I didn't like those 2 tires earlier, but I'm going to try it again. I'm going to see what happens. So we got an interesting mix of pit strategy going on here. But the guys who stayed out, we've got Blake Gordon out there, Greg Welland in second. Look at this, Dave Wright in third, Derek Schilling in fourth. And then we go to the guys who pitted. We've got Josh Laston in fifth, Brandon Bernhardt in sixth, Johnny Edward in seventh. And these guys did right sides only. And then from there, we got our guys on 4 fresh tires: Josh Hanner, Sean Carmody, Joe Dinsmore, Kevin Haas, and Ed Springer. And we've got a couple other guys still on pit road, still working out their position. We got Mike Burgess just coming out, John Gordon carrying a cone with him, and Tim St. Jean rounding out the field right now. So we've got at this point, older tires, 10-lap old tires. We've got, and actually, I say this is getting confusing. Blake Gordon, Greg Welland, Dave Wright, all 3 of them last pitted lap 33. Blake Gordon of that group only took right side tires. Derek Schilling took 4 tires at lap 41, so only 6 laps ago. Josh Laston on right sides only just now. Same with Brandon Bernhardt and Johnny Edward. And then from there, we've got 4 fresh tires on this last pits cycle. So pace car pulls off. We'll cut to our blimp view. We'll see what Blake Gordon's able to do here with Greg Welland right behind him. Blake Gordon gets a great jump. Greg Welland, constantly looks like they're going to be able to hang with him, but then, they sort of stretch out. But I really do think that if we can stay green flag, this strategy Blake has taken is going to hurt him. If we don't stay green flag, this strategy is played out perfectly in his favor. We're gonna cut back here to this, because this is a crazy battle here right now. A hornet's nest. As we see, and this is the result of guys being on different strategies. Huge props there for all those guys being able to navigate through that. That was surprising we got through that with no caution. Coming back up here, but I can't even keep up with what's... Johnny Edward goes around. Is that Johnny Edward, or is that... that was Brandon Bernhardt that goes around. Brandon Bernhardt around. Oh, and a whole lot of guys caught up in it behind. Oh, wow. I think almost like half the field was in that. We had the big one at Richmond, folks. Let's take a look, see what happened. All right, so we got Brandon Bernhardt here in the front of this pack in the 70. Teammate Johnny Edward right behind him in the 60. Oh, Brandon just lost it. Brandon loses it. They stack up. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, they just kept getting collected. We're going to take one more look at that as a further back view, because I want to see how all these guys ended up in it. So we can see here that 70 car up front goes around. They start coming around. Derek Schilling and Josh Laston get through it, and then everyone else. All right, hold on just a second. Hold on, because I want to watch this. We're going to go in car with John Gordon here. Because, he definitely made some contact, but I think he mostly got through it. Oh, and actually, wow, there was an issue here with the 82 as well. All right, so let's see here with John Gordon. All happening in front of him. There's tires, and he's just... Look at that. Look at that. I mean, that right there so far is the move of the season. That was crazy. Hats off to you, John Gordon. That was a great move. Great series of moves. Well, as caution is out here, we have a new leader. Greg Welland, our new leader. And as Blake Gordon has decided to come on to pit road. And it's looking like, we're kind of getting one of those situations where you see oftentimes in these races where there's a lot of cautions and unlimited tires, where you get guys on different strategies, and it's the right call. If you're not the fastest guy out there, you got to try something. So, just try to get on a different pit cycle and hope it works out for you. And, right now, Blake Gordon, who was doing really well with only 2 tires, sitting in 8th. So, right now, his strategy hasn't worked out for him, but you know, it still could. I'd say Blake Gordon's still in a good spot sitting there in 8th. So, you know, honestly, I'd like to say I'm speechless because the racing's been so good, but I'm speechless because I'm running out of things to say. This is, you know, not been the best showing for us this year. We knew Daytona was a little rough. A lot of guys getting used to the car, but was expecting things to be a little bit cleaner tonight, and hopefully they'll still get it as the pace car pulls off. We do have a lap down car this time, and Greg Welland is off. Derek Schilling, I thought, was going to have a chance there as Tim St. Jean was not, you know, pulled up directly next to Greg Welland. But yeah, still not too bad for Derek Schilling there as he's able to easily get by Tim St. Jean, but now under pressure from Johnny Edward, Mr. Thursday Night, as he is going to go make a move on Derek Schilling there. Johnny does have fresher tires, and significantly fresher tires than Greg Welland. So we'll have to see if Johnny's going to have... Oh, Derek Schilling going around. Derek Schilling going around. Caution is out again. Take a look, see what happened here. So, you know, we saw it a little bit. Derek Schilling went around, and I see Hanner was involved in it too. Let's see if we can see who all was involved in it. Yeah, I mean, Schilling started getting loose like almost right away, and then I think overdrove the entry a little bit. Oh yeah, Hanner got tapped from Tim St. Jean. A little payback. Sure, not intentional, but honestly, that was not nearly as bad as it could have been. Just 2 guys involved, and it looks like relatively minor damage for both of them. We've got guys entering pit road, including Blake Gordon, who just pitted. Pitting again. So once again, we're seeing Greg Welland just kind of hanging on to the lead of this race with older tires than the people around him. By far the oldest tires on the track, but able to hang on just because we keep having cautions. Nobody's really getting an opportunity to actually, you know, get a run going. Go here and watch the battle off of pit road. And of course, Laston here, he's coming out quickly. I'm assuming he took rights only. Actually, no, Laston does all 4. I think it's just, yeah, Hanner got on pit road slowly and or, you know, later because he had damage. So yeah, so now Laston sitting there in that 8th spot with fresh tires. Blake Gordon had a very slow pit stop, so I'm guessing he must have picked up some damage at some point. I'm not sure if it's when the wreck occurred and I just missed it. But Blake Gordon now, you know, sitting in... What position is he in here? Blake's in 12th. So, yeah, I mean, you can still see, I mean, there's still some spots on this car look a little damaged. So, not quite sure what happened there. But as mentioned, our leader, Greg Welland, sitting up front, you know, I think if we can get a longer run, I think Johnny Edward, you know, last pitted lap 47, I think he's going to have something for him. Then again, with a longer run, I think the guy in the catbird seat right now is Joe Dinsmore. Last pitted lap 53, so less than 10 laps ago. You know, I think he's in a good spot right now. Let's see if he took 4 tires his last stop. Yeah, he took 4 tires. Johnny Edward, you know, did last pit at lap 47, but only took 2 tires. So once again, we're kind of having, you know, kind of a situation where multiple strategies are going to play out here. We're going to see which one will come out on top. If we keep having cautions, I want to be the guy up front. And that's Greg Welland right now. Justin Anderson says Blake's just waiting until the halfway point of the race to make his run up front. Yeah, it's maybe true. You know, Blake does like a challenge sometimes. You know, he definitely took some damage. I don't know what happened to him. I'm sure I'll have an answer by next week. But, yeah, Josh Hanner there. I mean, you know, two of our favorites right there. Championship battle, sitting back there really far. As the pace car, I believe, is pulled off. We'll cut to our blimp view, and Greg Wellen's off. And this start worked out great for Greg Wellen. Tim St. Jean there is going to be in position and will definitely slow down Johnny Edward. And it's going to give Greg Wellen that opportunity to build up a little bit of a lead. As we see Johnny Edward, I think may have overdriven the entry a little bit there. You know, gets a huge run, but you know, is not able to stick it. You know, still having the battle here with Tim St. Jean. St. Jean's still hanging on. Does he have? Yeah, he has fresh tires, relatively fresh tires. St. Jean does. As we see, Edward does finally get around, but the damage has been done. Greg Wellen. We'll switch here to the Brandon Bernhardt roll bar camera. We can see. I mean, that's a sizable lead, and see if he'll be able to you know, get that narrowed down. As Blake Gordon has just set the fastest lap of the race. So he is not playing around. Maybe Justin Anderson was right. Blake Gordon's just you know, playing games. He's ready to go now. But we'll have to see how quickly he can get up through the field and actually be a contender as we see him here. Oh! I thought Blake was about to start racing with his dad a little bit there and has some issues. But I'll tell you what, I mean, these guys, if we can stay green flag, this is going to be really fun to watch because there's, you know, many different strategies. 43 car around on the back stretch. That's Dave Wright. No caution. He's able to get going again. So we'll cut back up here to Greg Wellen, who has nearly pulled out to a full second lead, but you know, Johnny Edwards, you know, not far behind. We'll go back to this roll bar camera one more time. Take a look. I mean, yeah, Johnny Edwards has closed the gap on Greg Wellen. And if we, you know, look, you know, Joe Dinsmore right behind. Joe Dinsmore's got a pretty sizable gap there to Johnny Edward. But I think on a long run, you got to be thinking Joe Dinsmore has put himself in great position as he cuts off a huge chunk there on Johnny Edward. We'll just we're going to keep an eye on this battle for a little bit because I think this is, you know, looking through the field, this is probably the most interesting battle on track right now. You know, as we see these three guys, if they're going to be able to chase down each other. So yeah, there we go. I'll take a look at that camera angle. We'll keep it here for a little bit and watch Johnny Edward and Joe Dinsmore see if they can catch up with Greg Wellen. Side by side right behind them, Josh Hanner and Sean Carmody side by side. Hanner's gotten up through the field quickly. We saw he started one spot ahead of Blake Gordon, but he's been moving up very fast. Definitely has a lot of speed here. He was setting fast laps in practice, and we'll see if he's able to get around Joe Dinsmore here. He does have fresher tires. He's actually out of you know, top 5. He's got the freshest tires out there. So we'll see if he's able to get around these guys quickly. And I think if we can stay green, he will. As we see, he's putting some pressure on Joe Dinsmore. We're going to switch over here to the Brandon Bernhardt roll bar camera. Follow behind on this. Look at Joe Dinsmore's Fallout paint scheme. I thought Hanner was getting a little loose there, but looks okay. Hanner's okay. Did lose a little bit of time there. So we'll have to see if he can close that gap back up as we see Joe Dinsmore has closed the gap up on Johnny Edward, and Johnny Edwards closed it up quite a bit on Greg Welland, though he lost quite a bit there. Looks like he got a little loose on exit. So we can see Joe Dinsmore trying to make the pass on Johnny Edward. And this is dangerous for Johnny right now because, if he lets Joe by, there are a lot of cars with fresh tires right behind them as well, and could potentially, well, I guess there's a little bit of gap there to Blake Gordon. So if he gives up the spot here, he might have to give it up to Hanner as well. But after that, I think it'd be a little while before he has too much pressure. But Hanner's going to have to, get his nose in there if he wants to be able to. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Hanner maybe overdrives corner a little bit. Johnny Edward gives him some extra room. And Josh Hanner moves up to third. Joe Dinsmore in second. And they are, going to try to put some pressure on Greg Welland now, who is performing very admirably right now with how old his tires are. Of course, they haven't put a ton of green flag laps on the tires because of cautions, but you still have to think that even a few green flag laps would be making a difference. I mean, right now, Greg Welland's last lap was about 1.3 seconds slower than his fastest lap of the race. And we can see that's starting to do damage now as Joe Dinsmore is closing that gap. Back here we see Sean Carmody putting a pass on his teammate Johnny Edward. Carmody's got slightly fresher tires here, and I think he did all four when he came in. He did, so you would think it would be fairly academic at this point, but nothing's academic in racing, and he's going to have to work to get around him here. I think before long he is going to complete this pass. As we see, Sean Carmody completes the pass. Blake Gordon, another teammate, right there behind. Going to put Johnny Edward down one more spot, I believe. And, this is not something you want. Oh, and actually, we have a new leader. That happened very quickly. Joe Dinsmore takes the lead over Greg Welland, and Josh Hanner able to sneak in there as well. So Joe Dinsmore running in P1. I believe he won last week or the week before. He won the week before. Last week, I believe, was Sean Carmody, which we unfortunately could not cover those races. But so Joe Dinsmore leading the race. But I'm keeping an eye on Blake Gordon. I mean, he's about 1.5 seconds back from the leader. But setting down really fast laps, a little bit slower than Dinsmore this last lap, but definitely faster than Welland, and I think that possibly might have some longer run speed. But I'm keeping an eye on Blake Gordon, and we've got Josh Laston here as well. Starting to move through the field. I'm not sure what happened here. We saw Carmody earlier battling with his teammate Johnny Edward and get around him, and now he's fallen back. So I'm not sure if he's made a mistake somewhere or what, but has fallen back to the 7th spot. And who else we got here on the track? All right, how about John Gordon? John Gordon, who made that incredible move through that wreck earlier, running in 10th spot, racing here with Ed Springer and Kevin Haas. Back to our leaders here as Josh Hanner putting pressure on Joe Dinsmore once again. And, these are two guys who tend to find each other on the track more often than not, and going to put on a show for us. I think they're Joe does have slightly older tires, but also has clean air, and that makes a difference. That's you want to try to time your strategy calls so that you're the guy out front, because then you can control how difficult it is for the guy behind you to pass you. Even if Hanner's faster right now, I mean, that isn't just a given that he can just get around. So we'll see here if Hanner's able to make this move. We'll switch over to the roll bar camera here. Switch to Hanner, though. We're going to see, you know, you can see Hanner's searching. He's trying to find something, and it's going to be tough. I mean, just because of the fact the high line really has not come in. This is very much a bottom feeder race. So you see, you know, Joe kind of, I'm not sure if that's how he's been doing it, but almost double apex it there a little bit. You know, kind of came in a little low. Let's see if he does it here. Yeah, he rode up a little bit, but no, not quite the same thing there. So I think, you know, this is the first time we've had any age and cautions out. Just as we were having a really good battle here, we have caution come out. And we're going to take a look to see what happened. I think Ed Springer was involved. Switch back to our TV1 camera. See if we can see what happened. Ed Springer there. And just lost it getting on the throttle. That'll happen. But look at that. Look at that. Gets on the brakes. No damage. That's how you do it. So this is going to be really interesting here. I don't think pit road's opened yet. They might be open this time by. We're going to see who's going to take, you know, come on down. I think Greg Welland's going to have to. Greg Welland definitely has pulled down. We got a whole bunch of guys coming down. And no surprise with that, honestly. I mean, that's the right call. I would say most of the field came down. Now the next big question is, you know, obviously we got some guys. Well, Ed Springer is out on the track still. I mean, Ed didn't have any damage. Maybe he's just trying something. But the big question mark now: are we gonna have any guys that take 2 tires? Or are we gonna all do 4 tires? Looks like at least our leaders are doing 4 tires. Look at that. Derek Schilling takes the gamble with 2 tires. And gets out ahead of Joe Dinsmore. We'll see what he can do. And, you know, I mean, honestly, I think people might be sleeping on Derek Schilling a little bit. He's sitting in the top 5 in the championship standings. Has had a really great season so far as as Ed Springer has come into pit road, making Derek Schilling our new leader. But Derek's having a great season, and it seems like, you know, obviously he's had some problems tonight. I think half the field's had some problems tonight. But it seems like he's really good with these cars. So we'll see if Derek Schilling will be able to hold off Joe Dinsmore. Again, all pitted at the same time, but the difference is going to be 2 tires versus 4. Much less drama this time, as most of the, I mean, basically everyone that pitted, I think everyone has pitted. Yeah, everyone that is out on track has pitted, and looks like all of them have taken 4 tires with the exception of Derek Schilling. So if Derek can navigate this, and he should have some lap down cars on his inside, if he can navigate this correctly, then, you know, this could end up being, again, I've said this before, I don't think this is going to win the race for him. I think that Joe Dinsmore, Josh Hanner, Greg Welland, Blake Gordon, I mean, you know, even as far back as Sean Carmody in 6th, I think that those guys, you know, if we have a green flag run to the end, yeah, I think they'll get around you. But could he potentially end up, you know, squeezing out a better finish than he otherwise would have? You know, yeah. And there's also the chance that we continue to have cautions, and we have the situation that happened with Greg Welland earlier, where Greg was on significantly older tires, but was still able to hang on to the lead. So honestly, after seeing what happened to Greg Welland, I think that Derek may have made the right call here. But honestly, the only way we're going to find out if it was the right call or not is to see it on the track as we're getting ready to go green flag here once again. 93 of 125 done. Hopefully we can stay green flag to the end, have a good, strong finish. And I thought there were going to be some lap down cars here, but I guess maybe we're within the limit, but there aren't any on the inside. So Derek Schilling in the restart zone, and he's off. He did not get the kind of restart we've seen from a lot of the other guys. I'm not sure if he spun his tires, but look at this. Josh Hanner getting a great jump on Joe Dinsmore and is able to get to his inside. You know, those guys are on equal tires now. But, you know, this isn't necessarily a good thing for Hanner. But, oh! Derek Schilling goes way high. I was about to say this isn't necessarily a good thing for Hanner because it could end up in a situation where he gets stuck behind Derek Schilling and Dinsmore's able to make a pass on the outside. But that door was open there, and Josh Hanner is our new leader. You see Blake Gordon there all over Joe Dinsmore right now. I think we potentially could have a really good battle here to the finish if we can stay green. And I think, honestly, at this point, I think all these guys are wanting to stay green, so we can have a good battle. And we'll switch here to the roll bar camera because I think that's probably had our best views all night. Kind of see this view from Blake Gordon's car. You see, I mean, Joe Dinsmore got passed by Josh Hanner on that restart, but not giving up. I mean, he's battling hard, and you know, it's. And Joe Dinsmore actually just set the fastest lap of the race, 23.58. It's actually tied with Hanner's best lap of the race, so I guess it isn't a new fastest lap unless it's, you know, the thousandths or something. But it's clear. I mean, the three, I would say even the four guys up front. You include Greg Welland there in fourth. I think these four guys are the best cars on the track. I mean, that really, in my mind, there's no question about that. But again, going back to what we were saying earlier, you want to be the leader. It's so hard to pass here, and Hanner's in good shape right now, especially if Joe Dinsmore and Blake Gordon start battling. That's something that Hanner, I think, would love to see right now. So we are at lap 99 of 125. And I'll tell you what, if we do end up having another caution, which I don't want, I want us to stay green. They are going to have some issues here. Hold on, they're going to have some issues here as Dave Wright is coming back on the track after a green flag pit stop. We're going to cut back to our blimp view here. I want to see how this is navigated. Hopefully Dave Wright will be able to stay high, and I mean, you know, I think he will. I mean, we saw him navigate that three-wide situation earlier where he was on older tires, and everyone handled it really well. So, yeah, actually, he's gotten up to speed much quicker than I thought he'd be able to. I guess it's been a bit of a short track, and so we'll cut back to our leader again, Josh Hanner. And Derek Schilling. Oh, Derek Schilling crashed. Had to jump to the pits. No caution for that, thankfully, but tough break for Schilling, who again, you know, was in contention for the championship, but you know, this will obviously hurt him. But with drop races, you know, it's not the end of the world. I wouldn't worry about it too much. So right now we got 23 to go, and our top three have formed a bit of a breakaway. And then there's, I mean, I would say top four has pulled a breakaway, as Greg Welland is not out of this by any means. And then from there, it's a bit of a gap back to Sean Carmody and Josh Laston, Brandon Bernhardt, Johnny Edward, John Gordon, Kevin Haas rounding out your top 10. And to me, really, it genuinely feels like guys have just kind of decided they're going to settle in and try to finish this thing on the green. Like, you know, you're not seeing quite as many aggressive moves. Everyone looks a little bit more patient. But this is the challenge right here. I think, you know, with a lap down car, we're going to see, I guess, it looks like, yeah, Hanner's going to go high. All right. I mean, that's completely fine there. No issues at all. And that definitely benefited Hanner because of where he was able to make the pass at. You know, did not have to do it in the corner. But Hanner, has almost a half-second lead here. I'm going to cut back to Blake Gordon's roll bar camera again, because that's been my favorite to watch so far. It's always really entertaining watching him wheel it. We can see, I mean, you can actually see, I mean, you watch the red light on the dash, and that's your rev limiter kicking in there. Actually, I mean, a little bit before, but yeah, I mean, they're hitting it. It's an interesting setup, and I know that it gets less dramatic the longer they've been on the tires. Justin Anderson says, set up for a great finish. 3 heavyweights battling for the win. Yeah, I mean, this is what and again, I'm gonna say 4 heavyweights. I mean, Greg Wellen is someone who doesn't get to race with us nearly as much as I'd like to see him out there, but you know, he's a great driver. I'm not counting him out. I really am not. He's been fast all night. He's led a lot of laps. Definitely not counting him out, but you know, honestly, this is the battle we've been wanting to see, that I've been wanting to see all season, where you have, you know, 3-4 cars that could potentially win this race, and it's not a super speedway. This is, short track, and it's sort of wide open at this point. Oh, I think Joe Dinsmore might have had a few issues there, but a small issue, but he's able to correct it. Yeah, so I mean, this is exactly what I've been wanting to see all season, and I'm happy to see it. We've got 16 to go here. Blake Gordon has been all over the bumper of Joe Dinsmore this entire stunt. And I'm not sure if Hanner had some issues or what, but Dinsmore closed up that gap quite a bit. Dinsmore down to 0.4, just like that. Shaved off 1/10 of a second there. I mean, I'm not sure if Joe, I mean, I'm starting to wonder if Joe is just holding back a little bit, because he's pulling a little bit away from Blake Gordon now, too. And you know, honestly, from a veteran like Joe Dinsmore, that wouldn't surprise me at all. You realize that even if you're faster than someone, you've still got to make the pass, as I mentioned earlier. So perhaps he was holding back a little bit, trying to build up a little bit of differential, so that he's able to actually make a pass. But he's going to have to catch him now, and I don't think that's a given. So, but definitely has pulled away from Blake Gordon. I just said that Blake Gordon was all over his bumper. And looking at lap times, I mean, these. I mean, I'm going to include Sean Carmody in it now too. He's a little ways back, but the top 5 this past lap basically all had identical lap times. Like, they are basically flawless right now. I think Sean Carmody, the gap's just going to be too much for him to overcome, but I mean, still showing that he can put down some fast laps. Actually, Sean Carmody had the fastest lap fastest time that lap. So, oh, Blake Gordon with issues. That's going to bring out the caution. It looked like Blake was about to drive into some traffic there. I think maybe he wanted to try to not lose too many spots there, but wisely checks up. See if we can see what happened here. So we got Blake Gordon in that 51 there, riding behind Dinsmore, and we can see Welling closed up the gap quite a bit. Yeah, he just, I'm not sure if he just overdrove it entering the corner or what, but we got guys entering pit road right now. Let's cut back live. Josh Hanner, our leader, comes down pit road. And Greg Well and Joe Dinsmore stay out. So this this is going to be interesting. I honestly, I'm excited to see how this is going to play out because we're only going to have a few, 8-7 laps to go when we go green. All right, guys, watching on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. At this point, who do we think is going to win? Who are you putting your money on? Obviously, Joe Dinsmore's had a fast car tonight, sitting up front. Greg Wellens led a lot of laps. Can't rule him out. Tim St. Jean stayed out there, which that is definitely gonna, it's a great move for him, I think. Definitely gonna hurt the guys who just pitted though. So, yeah, Johnny Downey says great strategy by Joe. He normally saves up his tires and how hard it is to pass. He's got this. I think I probably agree with that. I'm still not counting out Greg Wellen. Greg is another person who I've seen can do crazy stuff with tires. So Greg Wellen's not out of this, but and actually Tim St. Jean, I'm not sure what has happened here, but Hanner's currently showing up ahead of him. So I'm not sure if St. Jean is taking an EOL or looks like he is. So Hanner's only going to have 2 cars in front of him. Cody Mitchell says Joe's going to power up the Super Saiyan 3 and drive off with it. Oh, Justin thinks Tim was the lucky dog. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense because they all pitted there. Surprised he didn't go ahead and pit as well. Being lucky dog, you can pit 1 lap after. So I would probably come in and pit, but So Cody Mitchell, Super Saiyan 3, drive off with it. Yeah, I could see Joe doing Super Saiyan 3 or Super Saiyan Rose or whatever they have now. We'll see. I'm really excited. This obviously I wish we could have finished on the green flag, but other than that, this finish is setting up, I think, to be potentially the most exciting of any finish of any race I've ever called. Track map back up. I hit it there for the pit road stuff, and I'm gonna cut to our blimp view for this restart because I want to see the battles. I'm actually going to focus on let's focus on Hanner because he's kind of in the center of all of it. We're going to see what Joe Dinsmore is able to do into the restart zone. Oh, Wellen jumped it a little bit, but mistimed it. Still able to hang on. So we've got 6 to go. Hanner drives it in hard. Josh Hanner putting the pressure on Joe Dinsmore already. We got Sean Carmody here, too. Look at this. Sean Carmody trying to go on the outside, doing what I just said earlier might end up being a problem for Hanner previously, kind of using Dinsmore as a pick. But Josh Hanner able to get around Joe Dinsmore here. Those tires making a huge difference. And we've got 5 to go here on the backstretch, but Sean Carmody, out of nowhere, has suddenly shown up and said, hey, I want to have a chance to win this race, too. You can't leave me out of the conversation. Brandon Bernhardt there as well. I mean, we've got some guys who were not up here earlier. Specifically Brandon. I mean, he's been caught up in some stuff, but he has not been a front runner. Currently running in 3rd. Joe Dinsmore continues to slide back, currently sitting in 5th. I think for his strategy to have worked, he would have needed more guys to stay out. So Josh Hanner, currently our leader, but Sean Carmody not giving up on this. I'm going to cut back here real fast to Blake Gordon, trying to put some pressure on his teammate, Brandon Bernhardt. We know that Blake was super fast. Did bring out that last caution. But we'll see if Blake's able to complete a pass on his teammate here. And potentially, I don't think he'll be able to catch the leaders, but we'll see. But we're going to cut back here to the lead as we are about to get the white flag. We are 1 lap to go, as Hanner is still leading. He is gonna, just kind of hug that bottom line. If you're hugging that line and you're on equal tires, it's gonna be really tough for anyone to make a pass. Josh Hanner rounds turn 3 into 4. Exits turn 4. Oh, Carmody gave everything he could to try to get around him. Wow! That was a valiant effort there by Sean Carmody. He closed up the gap quite a bit. Just drove the hell out of that car. What a finish. We had a great finish there. That was really great. Let's take a look at our results. Finishing first, Josh Hanner. In second, Sean Carmody. And in third, we have Brandon Bernhardt. Fourth, we have Blake Gordon. And in fifth, Joe Dinsmore. Sixth is Ed Springer. And in seventh, Greg Wellen. 8th is Kevin Haas, and 9th, Josh Laston. 10th, we have Tim St. Jean, and in 11th, John Gordon. 12th, we have Dave Wright, and in 13th, Johnny Edward. In 14th, we have Derek Schilling, and in 15th, Mike Burgess. So that'll wrap us up for tonight. Be sure to tune in next week. Let's see where we're going to be at next week, because I've already had it pulled up and I've forgotten it. Next week, we are at Michigan. Oh, that should be a fun one. We got Michigan and then Dega, 2 big tracks. So, be sure to tune in. Should be a good one. We'll see you then.